Removing digital noise in Gimp is a challenge, right? So check this out. So I have an image of a hummingbird that I captured a few weeks ago. And the first image is the original shot, which is covered with tons of digital noise. Now, the second image is my attempt at removing that digital noise with Gimp's noise reduction tool, which is horrible. Now, the next image shows the results when you remove that digital noise successfully with my recommended noise removal technique, which I will share with you in a moment. But first, let's review a couple of more images and discover what digital noise is and the problems it creates, and then I'll show you how to fix it. So, where does digital noise come from? Well, digital noise results from using high ISO settings. The higher the ISO, the more noise you'll have in your image. Plus, you can create noise when editing your images, and I'll explain how that happens in just a second. First, there are two types of noise: color and luminance. So for this image that I created recently, there's a ton of digital noise since I used a high ISO of 3200, and the type of noise created by this particular camera is color noise, which shows up in your images as blue and red specks of color that are not natural to the scene. Now, here's the edited image where all that noise is gone. Not only did it remove the noise, but the scene details are sharper and more prominent than before. So the stars and the clouds and the jet that's going across the frame, it all got lost in the color noise. But once it's removed, everything is now crystal clear. How awesome is that? All right, so the second type of digital noise can be seen in the next image that I created with a different camera. This time we have luminance grain, which looks similar to film grain or specks of gray pixels. And then here's the final edit for this one. And again, the clouds and the rays of light are sharper than before. Now, the third type of digital noise occurs when editing your images. And this typically happens when you have an underexposed image and you try to brighten it up, which will result in more digital noise. For example, for this particular image, I captured this just before the sun was rising over the horizon, and the bottom third of the image is very dark. So if I go in and I try to brighten this up, I will introduce digital noise. In this case, it's going to be color noise. And this type of noise is very difficult to fix unless you're using the right tool. Either way, I recommend trying to get your exposure as close to perfect in camera so you don't have to try and fix it in Gimp. Now, if you've been using Gimp for a while, then you may have come across the noise reduction tool under the filter menu. Inside of Enhance here, we have noise reduction. So this is a basic tool for reducing noise. The only option is a strength slider. Now, the problem with this is it's not really removing the noise. It's only minimizing it by blurring it. So this results in the biggest problem with this particular tool, which is blurring the entire image. And you're going to notice this more as you increase the strength. So in my opinion, this is the worst way to reduce digital noise. Instead, I recommend using an external app that will auto-magically remove the noise. Not reduce it, but remove it entirely in 3 seconds. So check this out. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the hummingbird image here, and boom, the noise is completely removed. How cool is that? I love it. Not only did it remove the noise, but it also sharpened the subject a little bit. Now, I do find this noise removal app to be a bit aggressive, and I'll often adjust these two sliders to tone it down a bit. So the magic behind this is the artificial intelligence built into this app, and it will automatically remove the noise based on millions of photos that have been referenced from past edits. Now, up here at the top, you have some other settings to fine-tune the results you need for your images. And if you find that some of the details are missing, well, you can recover those through this slider here. And then if you need to further reduce any color noise that may still be present, you can use this slider here. Now, to try this out on your own images, you can find a link in the description below for a free trial. Watch this video next and discover how I fixed this image when I missed the focus and made it sharper.